Yeah, Zillow can be a little bit overwhelming, and along with realtor.com and some of the many other sites. A lot of people don't really understand how these sites work. And what people need to understand is any sort of home buying site has what we call an IDX feed into, I like saying it, like the mothership, right? And so the mothership is our multi-listing service. So for those that really don't know, Zillow doesn't have their own MLS, or realtor.com or homes.com. Any sort of web page that has homes on it doesn't have their own system that you put things on. How they get that, in Zillow probably does it a little bit different than some of the other ones, but how they get that is they get an IDX feed. So when a home goes inside the MLS and you post a home for sale in the multi-listing service, it's posted in our MLS system. So that is across the country, across the United States. We place that home once we list it for sale in our MLS system, right? So it's what realtors use as a paid service to brand your listing, and so all the agents can see it. So a realtor actually does not go to realtor.com or to Zillow, let's just say, HomeLight. An agent doesn't do that, but the buyers do. And how the buyers get there, well, I guess I should back up and just say how those end up on those sites is they have what they call IDX feeds. And those IDX feeds kind of touch the mothership, or we'll say the MLS, and then it extracts all that data into each individual site. So every agent that has a web page, every agent that has a link to a property search, all comes from what I call the mothership, which is the MLS. One way or another, that's how that data ends up inside of all those thousands and thousands of sites across the country, all come in from a source like this. And then each platform has a different kind of hook or thing. So we'll use Zillow because they have actually, I think, one of the better sites out there, where they can give you history data. They can tell you the zestimate of the property and however that algorithm works to, I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, it can be off a little bit one way or the other, but I think for the most part, Zillow has some pretty good data there. It'll tell you how long the home's been on the market, if it's had price adjustments, if it's had all sorts of different things. So, and I'm sure realtor.com has a lot of the same features as many other sites do. But I wanted to, just in the conversation of saying how do all these sites work? They really just work by touching the mothership, which I call the MLS, extracting the data from that, which we pay to do. It's not like we're stealing that information. We really want that information out on all those sites because so many different people search those sites for homes. So not everybody goes to Zillow. Actually, a very small percentage of shoppers actually go to the Zillow site, but also a small percent of those shoppers go to realtor.com, and a small percent of those go to HomeLight, and some go to homes.com. A majority of all the other hundreds and thousands of different sites that are available that shoppers go to, right? Buyers looking for properties. But I wanted to just talk about that a little bit because a lot of people really don't understand how it works. And when I've explained it, they're like, oh, that's actually pretty interesting. And then what happens is that data then goes in, and then you go search as a homes.com or as a realtor.com or as a Zillow or whatever it might be. And then agents like myself will go in and buy ad space. So then we can receive that information so we can help all of those particular clients. So even though they're on all of those sites, and then you have agents that are calling you or reaching out to you based on that, that's really how Zillow makes money, or how realtor.com makes money, or how homes.com makes money, is there's some sort of a paid process that those sites have. So if you think that Zillow does it for free, they don't, or realtor.com does it for free, they don't. And any of those sites, a lot of those sites are all paid by somebody, and mostly by realtors, to fund those pages so we can have an opportunity to talk to buyers and to sellers. So just wanted to give you a quick update of how all that stuff works. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to share more about it, but it's pretty interesting. Feel free to reach out to me. Hope everybody has a great day.